Our anthropology is not derived by human psychology or, empirical data from MIT or something like this. It's derived from the revealed aspect of what we see in Christology. And so there's no real way to diagnose man's problem and to understand man and man's anthropology, as I said, without the right theology.
If you can come to the debate and say that I don't have to justify the things that I'm using, then I can come to the debate and say I don't have to justify God.
Well, what if we have these things that appear through empiricism that they exist? We just don't necessarily know all the details.
Okay, well, that's storytelling. That's not a justification.
But couldn't I just say that to you? Like, you're saying that I don't have a justification. Couldn't I just say, well, it's reductio to your position. You don't have a justification.
So is that what you think a debate is? You think debate is just saying the thing back to the other person?
Well, that's what you're doing to me.
No, I'm not. I'm critiquing your position. Your argument was that what if I don't have to give a justification and these things just are? Well, then I can say the same thing back. That's a defeater. You understand? That's a defeater.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question is, I'm an atheist. What's your justification for God?
The transcendental argument.
Right, but so your problem with me is that I don't have justification for logic and stuff like that. But
yeah, there would be no coherent account or justification for logic, metaphysics, and ethics.
So how do you know they need justification?
Well, I think philosophy shows us that we ought to have good reasons for our beliefs.
So what if we just haven't found them yet?
Well, then you wouldn't be able to come and debate against Christianity.
Why not? Why couldn't you just be agnostic?
Because you wouldn't have a justification for the use of logic. So if you can come to the debate and say that I don't have to justify the things that I'm using, then I can come to the debate and say I don't have to justify God.
Well, what if we have these things that appear through empiricism that they exist? We just don't necessarily know all the details.
Okay, well, that's storytelling. That's not a justification. So I can engage in the same storytelling. You understand that a debate works tit for tat. So if you can do that, I can do that.
Okay, so your tag gets your justification, but I don't even know how it does quite get there. Can you give me like a couple examples specifically?
Yes, the last 30 seconds of argumentation with you that your position is not possible.
Oh, the reductio?
That would be part of it, yeah.
But couldn't I just say that to you? Like, you're saying that I don't have a justification. Couldn't I just say, well, it's reductio to your position. You don't have a justification.
So is that what you think a debate is? You think debate is just saying the thing back to the other person?
Well, that's what you're doing to me.
No, I'm not. I'm critiquing your position. Your argument was that what if I don't have to give a justification and these things just are? Well, then I can say the same thing back. That's a defeater. You understand? That's a defeater.
Well, my position is that I don't necessarily have a justification, but I don't know.
Okay, then you can't debate.
Well, no, I could, because my argument could be that no one does.
First of all, you can't know that no one does, and you wouldn't be able to justify that claim. And if you don't have to justify claims, then I don't have to justify claims.
Well, and that's why it's an agnostic position. We justify it as we do empirically because we know...
Then it's not justified. Then you don't even understand the word justification.
Why can't you justify things empirically?
How do you justify empiricism?
By experience.
Okay, so empiricism is justified by empiricism.
No, that's the definition of empiricism, is that we rely on...
I asked you how to justify it, and your answer was because of empiricism.
Well, what if it's a brute fact that...
Okay, then it's a brute fact that God exists. You don't understand this. Like, you can't think this through?
Yeah, but at least I have an example to
No, you
at.
don't.
Like,
All you had was assertions and circles. Redefinition. You don't understand. What do you think justification means? This is so low tier. I can't even do it.
I can demonstrate.
You didn't demonstrate anything.
Why can't I demonstrate logic?
You said, what if it's just empiricism? And I all I have to do is say, how do you empirically justify empiricism?
Well, what if that's the limitations that humans have?
Okay, what if? What if God exists? Do you understand? None of those things are arguments.
I'm just saying, at least.
I'm just saying that God
exists.
exists. I'm just saying.
I have something to bank on, which is experience and empiricism.
No, you don't. No, you don't, because empiricism is resting on empirical sense data, and I'm asking you to justify that all knowledge comes through empirical sense data. How do you do that?
Well, no, you could say, give me a justification for this, and then this, and then this, and then this. You could go.
No, because your response was not a justification; it was a circle.
And how is yours not?
Because I'm not an empiricist. Like you don't understand that I don't have your system.
Well, no, because you say you have a justification for God, which is reductio and all these things.
Right.
But then I could say,
those are called arguments. And what you're doing is just stating a story in a system.
No, listen, you have. I could just say, what's your justification for that? What's your justification for God?
That's not what I'm doing. So the fact that you think that just shows you don't even understand what's going on in this conversation. You've argued for a position called empiricism. And do you understand that there are classic defeaters for empiricism? Are you even aware of that?
Yes.
Okay, and you think you don't have to address any of the critiques of naive empiricism?
Well, my argument is that I can actually portray or come into a debate even though I'm an empiricist. You're saying I can't even come to debate. We both agree that logic exists.
Okay, you don't even comprehend. Again, you don't even understand the argument. I'm not saying that you physically can't come to debate and do it. I'm saying that you can't consistently do it. You don't understand the difference between those two.
I can't come to debate because I don't have a justification for logic.
And that's what I mean. I'm not saying you physically, literally can't do it. I'm saying you can't consistently do it. You don't understand the difference between these things. Bro, you can't. You think? Did you think Reddit was going to be sufficient for this discussion?
I don't know.
What do you think justification means?
I think it's that you have grounding for you have a reason and grounds to believe it to be true.
Okay, so what is the reason and grounds for empiricism to be true?
That it works when we have a.
You don't understand why that's a dumb tard level argument. It works. Works to do what? What does it even mean to work?
Well, okay, if I have one orange and you give me another orange, I have two oranges. Why is that a problem?
Because of David Hume, induction.
And induction, like, we think today is going to be like tomorrow, and tomorrow is going to be like
we also think that women can become men, and so we think all kinds of things. How is that a justification?
Well, that has nothing to do with.
It's illustrating the fact that we think something doesn't make it so, and it's not a justification. This is T-jump level stuff.
Do you think like the laws of nature are going to change tomorrow?
Oh my gosh, no. That's not the question of justification. The question is, how do you prove that?
I don't either.
Thinking that doesn't have, again, slow down or you're booted. This is a total waste of time. Thinking that is not the same thing as proving that. You don't understand the difference between thinking it and proving it?
Why can't everything be probabilistic? You don't have.
How do you? Because you understand, you keep making universal statements that you can't make sense of. How do you know everything is that?
No, I'm making probabilistic statements.
You said everything is, dude. Hey, dummy. Everything is probabilistic. Every is a universal quantifier.
Well, you can.
All right.
Make a statement
Oh
about
my gosh.
everything. What's the problem with making a statement about everything?
Go take a philosophy class. Go take a epistemology class. Read David Hume. And the point is not can you make the statement, but can you make sense of the statement? How do you have If you're an empiricist, you don't have universal experience.
Are you saying that your claim that God exists is not circular?
Stop changing the subject. You said everything. How do you make a universal claim if you don't have universal experience as an empiricist?
No, everything in our experience.
You don't even know everything in our experience. You're a limited, finite being.
That's the point.
Oh my gosh. This is, dude, go back to Reddit. This is, you don't even understand what the arguments are.
The Logos is the icon of the Father, and man is the icon of God.